ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वत स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तन हृदयन्तास्तु य भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृततं नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, Text 42 to 45. प्रजापतिपतिः साक्षात् भगवान् गिरीशो मनुः दक्षाय दयः प्रजा दक्षा नैष्टिका सनकादयः मरीचि अत्रियङ्गिरसो पुलत्स्य पुलः क्रतुः भृगुर्वसिष्ठ इत्येते मदन्ता ब्रह्मवादिनः अद्यापि वाचस्पतयस्तपो विधि विद्या समाधिभिः पश्यन्तोऽपि न पश्यन्ति पश्यन्तं परमेश्वरम्. Synonyms: Prajapati Patihi, Brahma, the father of all progenitors; Sakshat, directly; Bhagavan, the most powerful; Girisha, Lord Shiva; Manu, Manu; Daksha Adhyaya, headed by the king; Daksh, Praja Adhyaksha, the rulers of humankind; Naishtika, the strong brahmacharis; Sakha Adyaha, headed by Shanaka; Marichi, Marichi; Ari, Atri Angira, so Atri and Angira; Pulatsya, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Pulaha; Krato, Krato; Bhragu, Bhragu; Vashishta, Vashishta; Iti, thus; Ite, all of them; Mat Antaha, ending with me; Brahma, Vadinaha, Brahmana, speakers on the Vedic literature; Adyapi, up to date; Vaja, Patahya, masters of speaking; Tapaha, austerities; Vidya, knowledge; Samdhi, Samadhi, by meditation, and by meditation; Pashyanta, observing; Api, although; Na, Pashyanti, do not observe; Pashyantam, the one who sees; Paramesh, Param Ishwar, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The most powerful Lord Brahma, the father of all progenitors, Lord Shiva, Manu, Daksha, and the other rulers of humankind. The four saintly first-class brahmacharis, headed by Shanak, Sanatan, the great sages Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kritu, Bhrigu, and Vashishta, and my humble self, Narad, are all stalwart Brahmanas who can speak authoritatively on Vedic literature. We are very powerful because of austerities, meditation, and education. Nonetheless, even after inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom we always see, we do not know perfectly about him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to the foolish Darwinian theory of the anthropologist, it is said that 40,000 years ago, Homo sapiens had not appeared on this planet because process of evolution had not reached that point. However, the Vedic histories, the Puranas and Mahabharata relate human histories that extend millions and millions of years into the past. In the beginning of creation, there was a very intelligent personality, Lord Brahma, and from him emanated all the Manus and the Brahmacharis like Shanak, Sanatan, as well as Lord Shiva, the great sages, and Narad. All these personalities underwent great austerities and balances, thus become authorities in Vedic knowledge. Perfect knowledge for human beings, as well as all living entities, is contained in the Vedas. All the above-mentioned great personalities are not only powerful, but cognizant of past, present, and future, but are all devotees. Still, in spite of their great education and knowledge, And despite them meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, they cannot actually understand the perfection of the living entity's relationship with Lord Vishnu, which this means that these personalities are still limited as far as the knowledge of the unlimited is concerned. The conclusion is that simply by advancing one's knowledge, one cannot be accepted as an expert in understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can be understood not by advanced knowledge but by pure devotional service, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.55. Bhaktimam abhijananti yavana yaschasmi tattvataha. Unless one takes to pure transcendental devotional service, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in truth. Everyone has some imperfect ideas. But the law about the Lord, so-called scientists and philosophical speculators are unable to understand the Supreme Lord by virtue of their knowledge. Knowledge is not perfect unless one comes to the platform of devotional service. This is confirmed in Vedic version. Athapi te deva padambuja dvaya prasada leshanugrahita eva hi janati tattvatam bhagavan mahimno na chanya ekopi chiram vichinnuvan. Bhagavatam 10.14.29. Speculators, the Jnanis, go on speculating about the Supreme Personality of Godhead for many, many hundreds of years. But unless one is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot understand his supreme glories. All the great sages mentioned in this verse have their planets near Brahmalok, the planet where Lord Brahma resides, along with four great sages Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar. These sages reside in different stars known as the southern stars, which circle the pole star. And the pole star, called Dhruvaloka, is the pivot of this universe. And all planets move around this pole star. All the stars are planets as far as we can see within this one universe. According to Western theory, all the stars are different suns, but according to Vedic information, there is only one sun within the universe. All the so-called stars are but different planets. Besides this universe, there are many millions of other universes, and each of them contains similar innumerable stars and planets. 4.29 45 शब्द ब्रह्मणि दुष्पारे चरन्त उर्विस्तरे मंत्रलि मंत्रालिंगैर व्याच्या वाच व्यावचिन्नं भजन्तो न विदु परम्. Synonyms: Shabda Brahmani in the Vedic literature, Dushpare, unlimited, Charanta, being engaged, Uru, greatly, Vistare, expansive, Mantra, Vedic hymns, Lingai, by the symptoms, Vyachinnam, Vyavachinnam, partially powerful, the demigods, Bhajanta, worshipping, Na Vidu, they do not know, Param, the supreme. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Despite the cultivation of the Vedic knowledge, which is unlimited, and the worship of different demigods by the symptoms of Vedic mantras, demigod worship does not help me to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport: as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.2, 7.20, कामैस्तैष्यतैर्हता ज्ञान प्रपद्यन्ते न्यदेवता तं तं नियमम् अष्टः prakriti niyata swaya. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulation of worship according to their own natures. Most people are interested in worshipping demigods to acquire powers. Each demigod has a particular power. For instance, the demigod Indra, the king of heaven, has a power to shower rain on the surface of the globe to give sufficient vegetation onto the earth. This demigod is described in the Vedas Vajrahasta Purandaraha. Indra rules the water supply with the thunderbolt in his hand. The thunderbolt itself is controlled by Indra. Similarly, other demigods, Agni, Varun, Chandra, Surya, have particular powers. All these demigods are worshipped in the Vedic hymns through a symbolic weapon. Therefore, it is said here, Mantralingar Vyavachinam. By such worship, karmis may obtain the benediction of material opulence in the form of animals, riches, beautiful wives, many followers, and so on. By such material opulence, however, one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. Thank you, Assembled Vaishnavas, for giving me this opportunity to speak for my own purification. Please, I'll try to summarize today's verses from the commentary by Srila Prabhupada and the senior devotees. Please forgive if I add my own meaning or interpretation to this. So in this chapter, which in a previous chapter we saw or heard the story about Puranjan, which Narad Muni was explaining to King Prachin Bharisat. But then again, Prachin Bharisat in the beginning of this chapter says that he's still not able to completely grasp about the story or allegory. So Narad Muni is explaining in detail now what he meant by that story. In this previous few verses, also that there is a glories of hand chanting and hearing is described. So in Gopi Geet, gopis, they speak very beautifully that Tava Katha Amritam Tapta Jivanam Avibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatmanam Bhuvi Grahanti Ye Bhurida Jana. The nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations transmitted by learned sages eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly, those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. This is a glory of hearing about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here again it's explained that even after inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom these personalities like Lord Brahma, Narad Muni, and all the Saptarishis and so many exalted personalities who always see them, but still they do not perfectly know about him. So in these two verses, Srila Prabhupada in purport explains like how to and how not to approach to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, like in Mahabharata, Lord Krishna was present in front of everyone in the battle of Kurukshetra and throughout his life. However, only few selected devotees could see Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, remaining all people more or less considering him as a mortal person. And this tells that if we don't have a devotional service, then even if Lord himself comes in front of us, we won't be able to recognize him. That's why devotional service is very, very important for us. That even if before seeing the Lord, we should pray to the Krishna that He gives us devotional service. So when he comes in front of us, we can see him, we can appreciate him in the right way. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and his planetary portions cannot be understood by material speculations or by non-devotees. If anyone who wants to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has to take to pure devotional service under the guidance of pure devotee or spiritual master. Otherwise, the truth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will always be hidden. As is seen in Bhagavad Gita, right, 7.25, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. He is not revealed to everyone. No one can understand God simply by scholarship or mental speculation. Only one who is actually engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service can understand what Krishna is. University degrees or other education doesn't help to understand that knowledge. And because of the pure devotional service, a devotee can understand the transcendental qualities and opulences of the Supreme Lord in a truth. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead only by devotional service. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is recommended that whether one is a pure devotee and is free from all material desires, or is full of material desires or desires liberations from material contamination, he should in all cases surrender to Vasudeva and worship him. In Vedic literature, there are recommendations for worshipping different demigods for different purposes. So those who are not devotees of the Lord think that for certain purposes, demigods are better than the Supreme Lord. So, but less intelligent people who have lost their spiritual sense take shelter of demigods for immediate fulfillment of material desires. So generally, such people do not go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are in the lower modes of nature, ignorance and passion. Therefore, worship various demigods. So, following the rules and regulations of worship, they are satisfied. The worshippers of demigods are motivated by small desires. They do not know how to reach the supreme goal. But the devotee of the Supreme Lord is not misguided. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 5.142, it is said that Ekale Ishvara Krishna Hara Sabha. Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is master, and all others are servants. So if we need something, even if we want to hear or understand Krishna, we should go to Krishna, is what explained in these two verses. If you go to different demigods, then you'll get a picture of according to their knowledge. But if you go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you want to understand Him in completeness, then only Krishna can explain or give us a knowledge where we can understand Him completely. Like in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, it says that Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they come to me. So only Krishna can give us understanding by which we can go to Him. And the medium is the devotional service. When we perform devotional service under the guidance of a senior devotees and our spiritual master, then that becomes a conduit for us to reach to Krishna, and Krishna opens up the door for us to understand Him. And by once we understand about Krishna, then Krishna says, then one who understands Janma Karma Samaya Divyam, one who understands his him, then he can go back to the Godhead and to Him. So, yeah, that's why in this summarize these two verses, Lord Srila Prabhupada in purport explains what not to do when we want to reach to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why the devotional service is very important, and especially chanting and hearing is the most important aspect of devotional service that we should focus on, and that will take us to the Supreme Lord. This I like to conclude this